So I ended up serving as a policy fellow in DC in 2007. And I knew at that time, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in public policy. I had been asked to run for public office. I thought people were nuts. I still had two kids at home at the time. And so I started out in a small position, like a committee woman, and started getting involved in my community with the domestic violence board. I was a leader in our National Association of Social Workers, Illinois chapter. I was Calumet chair and then vice president. And so just started getting more hands-on experience and being more involved in the community. And then in 2015, I ran for city council, became the first Black woman to represent my ward, and then decided to, try to have a conversation with the mayor at the time. She was a white woman. She was the first woman that had been elected. And I grew up on the east side of Kankakee. So Dr. O talked about white flight. I lived through that in the 80s in my hometown. And that's when you saw, factories leaving, communities, gangs, were prevalent, gun violence, and it's still prevalent. Those gun violence is still an issue in my hometown. I went to talk to her because when I was on city council, she never once called me. She never asked me for a vote. She never discussed anything on the agenda. And I wanted to know why the east side of town where I grew up looked the way that it did. It had been divested for decades. And when I went to see her, she literally was like organizing things on her desk. She was not interested in anything I had to say. And I had to fight to get that meeting, even though I was an elected official, because her executive assistant would gatekeep. And, what's your question? What do you want? Kind of thing. And so at that point, I was like, she doesn't even see us. Like, she really doesn't see us. And so I decided somebody needs to run against her. It didn't have to be me. It wasn't about being the first African-American, and none of that. It was about getting somebody in office that saw the entire community and that was going to work for the entire community. And so they underestimated me like they always do Black people. I did not come from an affluent family. I did not have a political family. They didn't know who I knew. They didn't know I could raise money. And they were completely blown away and devastated the night of the election. In fact, they started orchestrating a strategy to come after me, and they really did for 4 years. I mean, for the entire 4 years, it was hell. So, and they, and they use the tools that they always do, that we're not qualified. We need to hang the flag upside. They were so devastated. Like we should hang the flag upside down. I mean, it was just, it was insanity to me. I didn't have a fire chief. The police chief left, didn't have a conversation with me. This is very common. If you look at Black women, in fact, 2017 was the year of the Black woman mayor.